Hi, everyone, and welcome to Absurd Animal Facts with Madhav and Kanak, hosted by the Early Birds Kids Club. My name is Shreya, and I would like to welcome and introduce our lovely presenters. Madhav is 11 years old and lives in Melbourne, Australia. He has a passion for learning. From his childhood, he was very interested in knowing about the animal world. He watches shows on National Geographic, Planet Earth, Cosmos, and many more. His other interests are science, technology, and engineering. Kanak is 8 years old and also lives in Melbourne. She is Madhav's younger sister. Kanak loves animals and nature, and her other interests are reading and dancing. So thank you, you two, for hosting this awesome session.
Okay, so hello everyone, welcome to Absurd Animal Facts. I'm going to be showing you a couple weird, wacky animals and a couple strange facts about them, and Kanak will be explaining how to see these animals up close and personal with Google Augmented Reality. So yeah, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Absurd Animal Facts presented by me and Kanak. So first we're going to be looking at a couple of bizarre birds, strange, wacky creatures of the skies. So our first strange animal is the wandering albatross. The wandering albatross is a large bird which lives down in the southern hemisphere. It is strange because it has the largest wingspan of any bird, with the average albatross having a wingspan of around 3 meters. And they spend their entire life almost out at sea. They eat, sleep, like while flying, which is quite interesting. And they drift on air currents around the Southern Ocean. Our next strange animal is the secretary bird. The secretary bird is strange not only because it has a strange head crest, but also its hunting habit is what makes it unique. The way it hunts its prey is by stomping and kicking the ground, stirring up the prey. It even kicks snakes and other animals to death, which is how it gets its meal. Hence its nickname, which I've given it, Kicks a Lot. Our next animal is the laughing kookaburra. I've called it the mischievous cackler for a couple of reasons. It's the largest bird in the kingfisher family, and it's native to Australia. And it's called the mischievous cackler because it has a loud, ear-piercing territorial call. And you can turn the volume so you can hear it. Could you guys hear that? Yeah, so that's its territorial call. It will use it to mark out its territory. I have also once had a kookaburra make its call while it was sitting on my shoulder. It's really loud. That's what makes it really strange. Our next couple of absurd birds are the birds of paradise. I've called them the beauty kings because while every single female bird of paradise is really drab, the only ones which I'll have bright plumage, colors, and showy displays are the males, which use them to attract females. Quite a few of them will have, like the greater bird of paradise, will have exquisite tail feathers in bright colors. Others will actually perform big courtship dances on the forest floor. They'll practice for weeks, days, set the stage. They're like the actors of the bird world. And they're really picky about how they look. if they want to impress the females, and they live around Papua New Guinea. The next bird, which I find really interesting, is the frigate bird, mostly the magnificent frigate bird. These birds I have called the pirates of the sea for a couple of reasons. One, when they mostly the frigate birds will generally hunt for themselves, fishing fish and squid out of the ocean. However, they've developed a unique hunting strategy. Other birds, such as terns and petrels, will go out to the sea to fish. Then when they are coming home with their catch, the frigate bird will actually fly up to them and start bullying them. It will bully them, kick them, shove them around until they drop their food out of their mouth. Pirates
So
of the
it'll
sea.
steal their food.
Exactly. It will actually steal other birds off of its food.
Wow.
And they actually do it really violently by kicking, like really badly bullying the other birds to get a meal out of them. Also, yeah?
So they'll bully even the big birds, or just ones that are smaller than them?
Well, generally how bullying works is they'll bully the smaller birds. So they won't really take on big petrels or gulls, but smaller terns, they generally will just kick them and harass them until they drop their food. Also, this image here of a magnificent frigate bird, they have the males, they have a giant bulbous red pouch underneath their throat, and they use it for attracting females in the mating season. I'm not sure how they live with it. It's really big. So our next couple of animals are the oceanic oddities. They're the weird and wonderful animals of the seas. So this includes fish and cephalopods like octopus, cuttlefish, and all sorts of animals. So our first one is the flying fish. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard of this. So it's not a bird and it's not a plane, it's a fish. The reason it's called the flying fish, because when the flying fish feels like it's being attacked or cornered, it will make a giant lunge out of the sea and open up its wing-like fins to glide around 200-300 meters above the ocean surface, which is quite a long distance if you think about it. So they glide above the ocean using their wing-like fins to cruise along the top of the ocean. Our next animal is the stonefish. It is the most venomous fish in the entire ocean.
Can you spot it?
Yeah, can you spot the stonefish? It's also one of the most masters of camouflage. Can you spot the stonefish?
All I see is pink.
That is the stonefish.
In color. Okay, so I'll give you a hint. You see my red pointer? This whole mass of pink coral is not coral. It's the fish itself.
That entire thing is the fish?
That's the fish. This is its mouth here, and these are its two eyes, and these are its fins. It's got exceptional camouflage, and it uses this camouflage to sit on the ocean floor waiting for fish to pass by, and then it sucks them into its mouth.
Wow, so it just looks like coral, but it's actually a fish.
Yeah, it's really, really well camouflaged. Completely hidden. And yeah, it's got the most toxic venom in the entire ocean.
So does it just feed on?
It just feeds on small fish.
Okay.
When they pass by, it just numbs them up. And it's quite lazy. It just stays on the floor until a fish passes by. It numbs it up.
Is it a squid? It looks like a squid. The top one, the first one.
Wait, what do you mean?
I think he means the cuttlefish.
Is it a squid? It looks like a squid. The top one, the first one.
Oh, this is our next animal, the cuttlefish. The cuttlefish is called the master of disguise because it has one of the best camouflaging abilities in the entire ocean, being able to change its color rapidly. Almost like the underwater chameleon. It can change its color in the blink of an eye. Yeah, it belongs in the same family as octopus and squid. That's why it looks a bit like a squid. And yeah, so this is the cuttlefish. It's you can search it up. It's got really good camouflage. And yeah, it lives around reefs and oceans and coral. Our next animal is the anglerfish, which I've dubbed the nickname Mr. Lightbulb. It's a deep sea dwelling fish, which lives all the way deep at the bottom of the ocean, way, way down where no light can reach. And what makes this fish so fascinating is that this fish hunts by hanging a small bioluminescent glowing light fixated to the top of its head. So basically a little natural light source attached to the top of its head. Any fish which comes over to investigate will be instantly snapped up by the anglerfish. And it's got one of, in my opinion, one of the most terrifying mouths ever.
So do you think that the bioluminescence is like how a firefly also works?
Kind of in the same way, I guess, yes. So they generate their own light from glowing bacteria, and they use it as a lure to attract fish to eat. Kind of like a glowing fishing rod. Yeah. Our next fish was voted the most ugliest animal on the face of the planet. Everyone meet the blobfish. Seriously ugly. That's what makes this fish so interesting. It's gross.
It just sits there.
It's a giant gelatinous tissue mass.
It looks like a monster.
It does, doesn't it? It's just really gross. Generally, when they are swimming along the bottom of the sea, they will generally look like other normal fish. Only when they reach the surface, they get tissue damage. That's why they start looking like this once they're near the surface. But yeah, when pulled out, these animals are really, really ugly.
It looks like it has a nose.
It does. It almost looks like it has well-defined human features. Eyes, a prominent nose, and a really frowny jelly mouth. So yeah, that's the blobfish. Ugliest animal. Now we're moving on to some ridiculous reptiles. Scary, scaly, super creatures. So yeah. Our first animal is the black mamba. You've probably heard of this. It's a type of snake. This snake lives in Africa. No, the snake lives in Africa, and it has a jet black mouth, and it has incredibly powerful neurotoxic venom, which it uses to paralyze and immobilize its prey. And its entire mouth is complete jet black, and it's the second largest snake. It's second only to the king cobra. And it's quite fast as well. They've been compared to racehorses with speed, which is really impressive for a small animal.
So do they not ambush their victims?
They do. If they see a prey, they'll run after it and chase it. They're generally quite aggressive. They'll run after it, chase it, bite it down, and wait for the neurotoxic venom to
Do its thing.
Yeah, to do its thing, basically. Yeah, to kill it. And then they swallow it whole, as snakes do.
So it is fast like the. So it is fast like the hair.
Yeah, exactly. It's really, really fast. Our next animal, and this is quite a strange one, is the legless lizard, which is really odd because it looks exactly like a snake. It looks almost identical to a snake.
So what happened?
Well, what happened to its legs is that gradually, over a period of time, it felt like its legs were of no use to it. So gradually, as evolution happened and happened over a couple hundred years or so, it gradually lost its limbs completely because they didn't really help it in moving. So now it's literally a snake, but it's just a really long lizard. And the difference between a snake and a legless lizard is that the legless lizard will have eyebrows. I mean, not really eyebrows, eyelashes. No, not eyebrows, eyelids. My bad. It will have an eyelid, whereas no snake will have an eyelid. So that's one way you can tell the difference between snake and legless lizard. These will have eyelids. Snakes do not.
Where do legless lizards live?
Legless lizards can be found in North America and mostly Australia. Australia and North America.
What do legless lizards eat?
Legless lizards, they eat like bugs and insects, almost like a lizard, except it just doesn't have its legs, and it's quite a fair bit longer.
But it's not poisonous, right?
No.
No.
Does it have tongue?
Yeah, it will have a tongue, except not forked and sensitive like a snake's.
Is it very long?
Well, it's generally longer than your average lizard. So that's why it resembles so much like a snake, except there are a few key differences which make them separate. Now we have the king of the lizards, the Komodo dragon. This is the largest species of any lizard, and it lives in Indonesia, more specifically Komodo Island. It's got incredibly powerful venom, and it's pretty much the supreme lizard. Big, powerful, muscular legs. It's good at swimming, and its big jaws can easily tear apart any prey. They also run pretty fast and are overall incredibly powerful hunters. And yeah,
it seems like they have a forked tongue too, right? Like a snake?
Yeah, like a snake, except lizards don't use their tongue as a sensory organ. Snakes have an organ at the roof of their mouths known as a Jacobson's organ. This organ, so have you guys all seen a snake flicking its tongue out?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
The reason they do that is because when they stick their tongue out, they're picking up chemicals in the air. Then they take the tongue back in and rub it against the Jacobson's organ, which gives the brain sensory input. So it's basically like another one of their senses. Like we have noses and eyes, they have their tongue as a sensory tool.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's the Komodo dragon. They live in Indonesia.
Looks similar to a snake and an elephant. It's strong like
People,
it's
yeah.
strong like an elephant and it looks like a snake.
Yeah, when people first landed on Komodo Island and first saw this lizard, they thought it was actually a dragon. That's why it got the name the Komodo dragon, named after the island and the dragon. Up next, we have the largest snake by body mass, the green anaconda. It lives in South America, near Venezuela and Cambodia, and he is big. He has one of the strongest bite forces of any animal, can chomp through bone. They're excellent swimmers, generally living in wetlands and wetlands and rainforest. And they are overall really aggressive hunters, and they have also been known to attack people in Brazil a fair few times as well. So they're pretty mean, scary snakes.
How much men do you think will be able to carry the snake?
They're really heavy, like weighing in around 200, 300 kilos, which is really, really heavy. I
So,
mean, one of the,
so the human can't carry the snake?
no, you need a couple of people to carry it. Also, it's really flexible and has a large, when it opens its mouth, it's got a really large area. It also, a big trait of snakes is to have recurved teeth. When it bites down onto its prey, its teeth latch on so that the prey can't slip away.
So the truck
So
have to carry it.
yeah,
I've read this somewhere that they can suck humans. Is that true? Can they suck humans? Yeah.
yeah. Well, they can attack humans,
Oh, okay.
and some anacondas have also. Oh wow, that's nice.
It is called the green anaconda, but it is not green in color.
Well, it is compared to other anacondas. It's quite green.
It's pretty browny green.
Yeah, it's muddy green. And also, other anacondas have also been photographed of actually killing and hunting alligators, which are nearly twice their size. And they also swallow them whole. Okay, now we're moving on to our next little category, marvelous mammals. So yeah. The platypus. Have any of you ever heard of a platypus?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Desert. It is just
Yes,
like
yes.
a duck. It is duck's family.
It's the only egg-laying mammal.
Yes, that's correct, Addy.
It's like
So
a
yeah,
Yeah.
it's called the duck-billed platypus because you're right, it has a really strange duck bill. It also has webbed feet, oddly enough. It's got a tail which is like a spade, and it is the only egg-laying mammal. Mammals are categorized that way because they give birth to live young, but this is one of the two only egg-laying mammals.
So if it lays eggs, why did they categorize it as a mammal?
Because it feeds its babies with milk.
And also it has body hair.
Yeah, exactly. Not scales of a reptile.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why another egg-laying mammal is also the spiny echidna. And both of these, the platypus and the spiny echidna, are both native to Australia. They only can be found in Australia.
It lives in desert. The platypus.
No, it doesn't live in desert. It's a water animal. It lives in rivers and creeks and streams.
It swims good in water.
Yes, that's why it has webbed feet. It swims really well in water, and they're also strictly nocturnal animals. They hunt during the nighttime, and they sleep during the day.
So their eyes have light and their eyes are sharp in dark to see.
Yes. Some animals prefer night just as a better time to hunt. And they're better suited that way.
This picture looks like a human being and a lion.
It does.
Lion hair.
Everyone, I want you to meet the proboscis monkey. Oh, so nosy.
Looks a tiny bit like Pinocchio, eh?
It has a incredibly large nose. And the nose is called the proboscis, which is why it's called the proboscis monkey. And the reason they have such an abnormally large nose is they either use it to make warning calls, to know if a predator is in danger, or just general calls to magnify their calls, or they will, generally the males with the bigger nose is what the females will be more attracted to. So yeah, they're quite funny looking monkeys. One of the most odd monkeys.
What do they eat?
They have a general monkey sort of diet: fruit, nuts, small lizards. So like general monkey diet.
It does not have ears.
It does not have what?
Ears.
Ears. No, it does have ears. A lot of animals have ears, but you just can't see them. Like, for example, snakes and lizards, their ear will be nothing much than just a hole in the side of their head. So it does have ears, although they're hardly visible. It does have ears, though.
So do you know if they make like some weird sound because their nose is so big?
They can. You can search it up. They make like a weird kind of noise using their nose. They use their nose basically to amplify their sound, to try and make the call as loud and as big as possible.
The mouth and the eyes are small.
Yeah, and their nose is their largest feature.
On its head it has hair like a lion.
A little bit, yes. It's got a puffy mane around its chest and neck. Well, you'll see there's going to be an animal which is going to come soon, which is even more like a lion. But before that, we have the Bactrian camel, the two-humped wonder. It is pretty much exactly like a normal camel, except it has two humps. And instead of living in around Arabia and the Middle East, this animal generally is native to Mongolia, the deserts of Mongolia, and they're used for transport through the rugged, mountainy sort of terrain. And contrary to popular belief, their camels' humps are not actually water tanks, which most people like to believe. In dromedary camels and Bactrian camels, their humps are actually just large fat reserves, which they use if they get low on food.
Their humps look like mountains.
Yeah, mountains. So mountains and deserts.
Their neck are small and they are small. Why?
They're smaller than normal dromedary camels. They're definitely smaller, but they're still not that small.
Some camels does not have humps. Some camels does not have humps.
No, all camels will have humps. Some camels may have very, very small humps because they've used up most of their fat reserves, or they haven't properly built up their humps yet.
They still have them.
Yeah, but all camels will generally have humps. Yes.
How would they build their humps?
Well, they build the fat is the humps are fat reserves. So any excess fat they store in their humps. So when they need it, they can use it. It's pretty much like a spare food area. Imagine they're also born with it.
It leaves eggs.
What? Pardon?
Behind one, the camel leaves eggs.
No, the camel does not lay eggs. The only mammal which lays eggs are the spiny echidna and the platypus, which I showed you earlier. Every other mammal will give birth to live young. So this is the lion-like animal which I want to show you. It's actually a dog. It's called the Tibetan Mastiff.
Looks much more like a bear.
Yeah, it's...
I was going to say the same. It looks like a dog. It's a
It's the
dog family.
lion-like dog. They've been often compared to lions. A couple facts about the Tibetan Mastiff. They are one of the largest dogs, as you can see, one of the largest dogs. And they are also the most expensive dog breed.
It is dog family.
Yes, it's not a lion, it's a dog.
Their hair will cover their eyes. Their hair covers.
Yeah.
Well,
And Tibetan Mastiffs are native to, no surprise, Tibet, obviously. That's how they get their name.
It looks like their hair looks like a lion, and it is to a dog family, and it looks like its color looks like a bear.
Exactly.
And they are closed because of the hair.
Yeah, here are a couple more Tibetan Mastiff photos. Tibetan Mastiffs are also a little bit aggressive as well and will attack people sometimes. And the one on the right is the red Tibetan Mastiff. And this one is the most expensive dog on earth.
So are these the size of adults? Or can they get even bigger?
They can get a little bit bigger. This is about generally their size, which is already quite big. They can also get a little bit bigger than this as well. So they're quite big dogs.
They have sharp teeth like cheetahs and tigers.
Yeah.
Are these the same which you showed before?
Yes, it's the same type of dog, the Tibetan Mastiff. It's the same dog.
It can see in the dark.
Well, I don't think it has exceptional night vision because it's not nocturnal.
I'm very
But yeah.
at these animals.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now we move on to incredible insects, and some of these get a bit. If you have arachnophobia or a fear of insects, this next part is not for you. So our first insect, it may look a bit scary at first. It's the spiny devil katydid. And first glance, it's quite scary. They are mostly found in North America, and as aggressive as they look, they're not. They generally stay away.
well, is that look just to impress females, or is it just that look?
That look is to warn potential predators and also mostly to camouflage. Because think about it, on a spiky plant, if he just stood there really quiet, you probably would go by without noticing it. And it lives in bushes and the canopy of trees, so you generally don't see them anyway.
Where can you find them?
Its face looks like a pineapple, and it looks like a cat.
Yeah, you can.
Where can you find these?
Yes, you can find them in the Amazon, in Brazil, or in North America.
I will go there and search this insect. How long is it? It's longer than a cricket insect.
They're about the same size as a cricket. They belong in the same sort of family, the katydids. You could say katydid, or katydids are also known as bush crickets. So there you go.
Why are they called katydids? I mean, the name is quite weird.
I mean, admittedly, yes, it's quite weird. You know what, Addy, if you like, you can just call them bush crickets. It's okay.
Yeah.
Cricket is similar to this and this one, and cricket is similar to grasshopper.
Yes, quite similar. Like grasshoppers, crickets. Imagine, okay, take a grasshopper, take a cricket, take a cactus, and a really scary face, jumble them all together, and you get this animal. Just imagine that.
Their legs looks like a grasshopper.
Yeah. Now our next animal is quite the strange one. You probably not have heard of this one. It's called the panda ant. And for a very good reason. As you can see, its coloration looks exactly to that of a panda. And it's neither an ant, no, it's actually not even an ant. No idea why they called it that, because it's not a panda and it's not an ant. It's actually a species of flightless wasps.
Does it fly?
No, it doesn't. Only the females. So the panda ant belongs in the cow killer family, also known as the velvet ants. And their family are a group of flightless wasps. Only the males will have wings, but the males will generally not have stingers. So females get stingers, but they don't have wings. And males get wings, but they don't get stingers. And they have a really, and the coloration of the panda ant is because they have a really bad sting.
What is stingers?
Stingers are located on the abdomen of the ants around the bottom. And imagine they're like little needles. So when the ant needs to attack something, it pushes its stinger into whatever's attacking it, and it injects venom through it. And the venom of a panda ant is really pains. It hurts. So
it has two like this one, huh?
No, those are the mandibles. The mandibles are like the jaw. Its stinger is at the back. It's like a little needle.
But does the pain kill you or does it just pain?
It won't kill you, but it does hurt quite a fair bit.
So when
I would not recommend getting stung.
So when it hurts, can you make it proper? When it gets hurt, how many days it will take to get to the hurt to get okay?
Well, it depends. If you could have an allergic reaction to the sting, in that case, which is really serious. If it's just pain, it'll go out within a day. I recommend generally just putting cool stuff on it, stop the swelling. Yeah. And these panda ants are found in the south end of South America near Chile.
In their legs, they have spikes?
No, those are a lot. They're not spikes. A lot of insects have this. The little hairs. Do you know why insects and stuff are able to climb up walls and hang upside down?
Let me guess. It's because of the hairs.
Yes, it's because of the hairs. Exactly. These hairs help it to grab on and stick onto the walls and surfaces.
Because when a balloon is rubbed to your hair, it can get stick to anything. It's like that.
Not exactly. That is static electricity. It's not really the same principle, but yeah.
What is that line? What is that lines in the near to their mouth? Are they
those lines? I think they're part of their mandible. So they're like their jaw. They're a part of their jaw. Now, okay.
With antennas.
Yeah, they're exactly. They're part of their head. They can be used from the jaw, and they're also, yes, you're right, they're antennas. So they can use. It's basically another sensory source.
It does not have antennas and ears.
No, it does have antennas. You just pointed it out. They have antennas, and ants don't really need ears, but they do have small ones. So there you go.
Why do they have only 3 legs?
They don't have 3. They don't even have 3 legs. They have 6 legs. That's what makes them an insect. There's only 3 visible here, but they do have 6 legs, rest assured.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I did not count the other side of the legs.
That's okay. Okay, guys, our next animal, if you have a fear of beetles, look away, because meet the Titan beetle, the beetle monstrosity. It is one of the largest beetles.
One of the largest?
It's one of the largest.
Are there larger ones?
It looks similar to a grasshopper and a dung beetle and cockroaches.
Yeah. So this is the Titan beetle. It's a giant super beetle about the length of an adult hand, which is around 6 inches or so, which would translate to about 17 centimeters. And
That's actually huge.
yeah, it's really big. And they have a really powerful jaw, which have been noted to crunch through pencils.
Why are 4 legs facing back and why are 2 legs facing front, and what is that coming to its head from far distance, and what is that going back?
Okay, let me explain all those questions. First of all, these things coming out of its head, those are its antenna. If you're talking about the front facing ones, that's its mandible. And 2 legs facing, like 2 sets of legs facing backwards and 1 set facing forward gives it optimal back leg ability, I guess you could say.
What is that here? It has sharp. Is it its teeth or mouth?
It's its jaw, mandible, so it uses it to crush stuff. That's its jaw, pretty much.
It has teeth.
Yeah, it's not its teeth, but imagine having a crusher at the front of your mouth. That's what it is.
It has eyes and nose.
It does have eyes, very small one, but it does have
nose and mouth.
Pardon?
Nose, mouth, and teeth.
Yeah, it has.
Do they attack people?
Spikes, sharp spikes.
No, it doesn't have sharp spikes. It generally relies on its jaw. And yes, Niranjan, it can bite people. So be a bit careful, and it can hurt.
But can it?
Why 2 legs are facing front and 4 legs are facing back, and why do they have sharp in their legs? And by going from the starting of their legs, it's going big, then small.
Well, no, it's because the bottoms of their feet are used for grip, and there's 2 facing backward and 1 facing forward, just because it gives them the best movement and jumping ability.
In their legs at the last, it looks half pieces.
Yeah, they have very strong hind legs. So our next animal is arguably, my God, I don't even know what to say about this one. The giraffe-necked weevil, the crane-necked bug.
What is that long neck for?
Well, it uses its, considerably, the long neck is really impractical, but they use their long necks for fighting with other males to win over females. That's mostly what it's for. And they are native to Madagascar. So you will only find these in Madagascar.
Wouldn't they have fought without the necks?
They could have, but they adapted this way. So their giraffe neck doesn't only apply to just the look of the animal. They also use their necks in the same way giraffes do, by hitting their necks against each other's and having tussles. Female varieties of this bug, however, will not have that crane neck, which the males do. So yeah, now quiz time. Okay, you guys probably weren't expecting a quiz, but here you go. So let's see if you were listening. There are about 9 or 10 questions in the quiz. Let's see if you can answer them all. If you have an answer, just unmute yourself and say, okay?
Okay.
First question, what is the average wingspan of a wandering albatross? I said this right at the start. First animal. So is it option 1, 2, 3, or 4? Niranjan, did you say something?
3.0 meters.
Yeah, well done. That's actually the correct answer. Well done.
Nice
First
work.
question you got correct. The average wingspan of a wandering albatross is 3 meters in length.
Nice listening.
Well done. Next question. Which two ways do frigate catch food? Do they hunt for themselves, wait for food to come to them, steal from other birds, or tell other birds to get their food?
Steal from other birds.
Good. That's one of the ways. Now, what's the second way?
It beats the other.
Wait for the food to come to them.
No, it does not do that.
It takes from other birds. It takes food from other birds.
It tells other birds
Yes.
to get their food.
No, you steal from other birds is right, but what's the second option?
Yeah, the fourth option.
No, Aditya.
Okay.
Hunt for themselves.
Yes, there we go. So they either hunt for themselves or steal from other birds.
Good job.
How many humps does a Bactrian camel have? This should be easy.
2.
Yes, well done, guys. That was fairly easy. Well done. Where are Komodo dragons found? Malaysia,
Indonesia.
Thailand,
Indonesia.
Good
Indonesia.
job.
Yeah.
Well done.
Nice job,
Well
Abby.
done. Which is the most venomous fish? The lionfish, sunfish, yellowfin tuna, or stonefish?
Stonefish.
Nice work.
Good one, Niranjan. Well done. It's the stonefish. Correct. Yes. Nice. It's the stonefish. Good job. Why do kookaburras make a laughing call? Because
To
something is
mark,
funny.
territories.
Because of this long sound.
To mark territories. The
Talk
third
to
option.
each other.
No, they don't talk to each other. It's not because something is funny, and they don't do it for no reason. Addie, you're right. Again, it's to mark their territories.
Nice work. Again.
Good. Is the platypus an egg-laying mammal? Come on.
True.
Yes. Correct.
What is the main difference between a legless lizard and a snake?
The legless lizard has eyelids.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done. Well done. If you got that, that was really nice. Legless lizards have eyelids and snakes do not.
Nice work.
Why do panda ants look like they do?
To look good, to warn other animals,
To make themselves visible or for
no reason.
For no reason.
To warm other animals.
To make themselves
Look good. To look good.
It's not option 1 and it's not option 4.
To make themselves
visible.
Yeah, okay, whoever said option number 2, you are correct. To
Nice.
warn other animals. That is why they do this. Okay, why do flying fish fly? For fun, to escape predators, to catch
Escape predators.
escape
From
predators.
predators.
Whoever said that, good job.
Yeah. Option 2. Well done. Well done. That was option 2. Correct. Okay, guys. Thank you for your time. Now, Kanak is going to do a quick, brief explanation on how to see some amazing animals inside your own house. Okay, Kanak?
Hi. Have you ever wanted a tiger in your living room, a giant panda in your bedroom, a tiger in your backyard, a T-Rex in your living room, a macaw, a duck in your bathtub? Well, now you can with Google 3D View. These are some of the
Dinosaurs
animals you
are
can do.
extinct.
Yeah, dinosaurs are extinct, but you can show them. Okay.
These are some of the animals you can do it with. Plus, there are new dinosaurs.
Yeah, so you can pick any one of these animals to do. And yeah, so now you can also choose these dinosaurs as well.
And you can only do this on your smartphone, Android or iOS. You can do it on your phone now if you like. So we're going to be setting our example as a tiger. So you first type in one of the animals, and then if you scroll down, it will say meet a life-sized your animal tiger up close. Then it'll say view in 3D. So when you click that, you have to move your phone a bit to adjust it. And then voila, your life-sized animal is right there in your house. Have fun with your animals.
Nice. So did anyone get that, or do we need to go over it again? Has everyone got the steps?
We got it. We got it.
Okay, I'll go over it one more time with Kanak.
Okay.
So first, pick any one of these animals. Only these animals will work. Otherwise, it won't work. And you can also pick one of these dinosaurs as well.
So first you type in your animal. Our example is
So basically you have to go into Google search on your smartphone. It will only work on a phone, okay? It won't work on tablets or anything like that, only on your phone. So we will take tiger
as an example. So next, if you scroll down a bit, then it will show up with me to life-size tiger up close.
Yeah.
View in 3D.
So when you search it up, you'll get this obviously, and then scroll down until you find this sort of scene.
Then if you shake your phone a bit, then to adjust it, then it will come up. Yeah.
So just click on it, adjust your phone around. It'll tell you to scan the surrounding area. Make sure you're doing it in an okay space area, and then you should get a tiger in your living room or whatever animal you choose.
Will the animal?
Yes.
The animal attack or not?
No, it won't attack. It's only computer generated. It will not hurt you.
You can also take a photo on it.
It moves a bit, but it won't hurt you. And you can only see it from the phone. You can't see it in actual life. Don't worry. It's just a little bit of fun. Yeah, don't worry. It's perfectly kid friendly. There's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Virtual. It's virtual.
So these are what?
It is virtual, right?
Yes.
Augmented reality.
Yeah.
And these are some of the photos I took with a tiger in my living room, a giant panda in my bedroom, a lion in my backyard, T-Rex, macaw, and a duck.
Ever since we discovered this feature, our house has become a zoo recently.
What was the first animal you did?
The first animal I think we did was a tiger, we're pretty sure. Yeah, it was a tiger. And then it escalated from there. Then we bought a giant panda into our bedroom. We plopped a lion in the backyard. We put a T-Rex smack bang in the middle of the house. A macaw came to visit. And while Kanak was having a bath, a duck decided to join in. It's a lot of fun. You can try it out.
Yes, I think we're all going to do that.
So yeah, that's the end of our presentation. Hope you had fun.
Well, thank you so much, Madhav and Kanak. This was such an interesting session and we all learned so much about all these cool animals. I would also like to thank all the participants who came and participated in the quiz session and all the other programs that Madhav and Kanak hosted, because we really learned a lot, didn't we? At EBC, we host many fun and informational sessions like this for children around the world. So I would like to ask all you children, would you like to share something about EBC, what you like in it, the programs, anything?
Well, we like the EBC just because it's fun. It gives us activities to do. It makes us do yoga and exercises. It gives us a routine and a purpose.
I like it because Early Birds Club makes my day. I like it makes me stay active. It keeps me active, and like it's just fun. The activities, the video calls.
Well, Madhav and Kanak, that session was amazing. We learned a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you for the class. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed.